Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So today, we are going to study about a new topic, okay, which is about animal cell and plant cell. Okay, now we are going to focus on animal cell first. So here you can see this is how animal cell looks like. Okay, so basically animal cell, it has regular shape, irregular shape. Okay, so we are going to study what is the component inside animal cell in detail. Okay, the first one is mitochondria. So as you can see, this is the cell. So this is mitochondria. This is how it looks like. So I will make it quite bigger so you can see. This is how mitochondria looks like. Okay, so you see here. Uh, okay, so basically there are two layer of mitochondria. Outer layer and inner layer. So inner layer basically they are folding. Okay, they are folding. Okay, so let's study the features of the mitochondria. Okay, so it is a rod shape and spherical. Okay, so this is how it's shaped. And then it consists of two layer of membrane. Okay, outer layer and for inner layer. As I say, inner layer, it is folded. Okay, and it contain enzyme that play role in a cellular respiration. So basically, mitochondria is very important in cell respiration. As you remember, cell respiration is a process to produce energy. Okay, so there are two functions of mitochondria. The first one is a site to generate energy. Okay, so in order to produce energy, we need glucose and also oxygen. Okay, so from that glucose plus oxygen, we will get carbon dioxide, energy, and also water. Okay, so here is also the same thing. Okay, so bear in mind, mitochondria is required to generate ATP energy. Okay. Okay, ATP energy means adenosine triphosphate. But if you just mention about energy, that's fine. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is centriole. This is centriole. Okay, let's make it bigger. This is how centriole looks like. Okay, the blue color. Okay, so basically they are pair. They have pair. They cannot be alone like you. Okay, so let's go to centriole. So centriole is a small cylindrical component. Okay, so its shape is cylinder lah. And then it exists in pair and only in animal cell. Sorry, pairs in animal cell. I'm sorry. So it means that in animal cell, it will exist in pairs. Okay, and it does not exist in the plant cell. Okay, so the function is form spindle fiber during cell division. Okay, in the animal cell. Okay, for example, the animal cell would like to divide themselves. Okay, from one cell become two cell. So centriole will form spindle fiber. Okay, during cell respiration. Okay, for those who don't know what spinal fiber, we are going to study in detail on the next topic. But if you want to mention the function of centriole, maybe you can say it involved in cell division in animal cell. Okay. Okay, the next one is Golgi apparatus. Okay, let's look. But where is Golgi apparatus? Ni Golgi apparatus ni. This is how Golgi apparatus looks like. The pink color here. So, okay, what is the information about Golgi apparatus? Okay, so it consists of stacks of parallel flatted sac that are coated with a single cell membrane, and new membrane is added at one end of Golgi apparatus and vesicle bud off from one another. Okay, so this is how Golgi apparatus looks like. And the function, okay, ada tiga function, ada empat function dia. Okay, the first one is process, and then modify, and then pack, and then transport. Okay, protein. Specifically protein lah. Okay, so fungsi dia adalah Golgi apparatus ni. Okay, for example lah, you have protein, and from protein you want to make enzyme, you want to make antibody or whatever. So this protein will go to the Golgi apparatus. So what Golgi apparatus will do? The Golgi apparatus will process the protein, will modify the protein, and then the protein become enzyme. Okay, once enzyme is ready, enzyme will be packed. Okay, dia akan bungkus enzyme tu and transport. Dia akan transport enzyme tu pergi ke tempat yang diperlukan enzyme tu. Okay, so the example is for protein lah. Okay, other than that, we discuss later on. Okay, the next one is plasma membrane. Mana plasma membrane ni? The outer layer, outermost layer of the animal cell is called plasma membrane. So apa info dia? Okay, outer membrane surrounded, okay, with entire content of the cell, made up of protein and phospholipid bilayer. Ni maksudnya plasma membrane ni, they are made up by protein and also phospholipid. Okay, phospholipid is lipid. Maksudnya fat lah. Okay, nanti kita akan belajar detail next chapter. And then it is thin and elastic firm and partially permeable. Okay, for those who don't know, permeable ni maksudnya adalah its ability to permeable is the ability to allow all substance to cross through it. Maksudnya tapi kalau kat sini kita tengok plasma membrane ini partially, so it only allow certain ataupun it only allow some substance to go in and go out from the cell. Sebab kalau contohlah dia allow semua kan, kalau itu kat bakteria pun boleh masuk jugalah, tak boleh lah. So maksudnya only partially permeable, only something will get in and get out. For example, glucose, oxygen, glucose, apa lagi, amino acid, protein and so on. Okay, so function dia ada 3. To separate content of the cell from the external environment. Okay, control the movement of substance into and out from the cell. Maksudnya glucose boleh masuk, oksigen boleh masuk, apa lagi? Apa yang keluar siapa? Yang keluar carbon dioxide, waste product. Okay, itu fungsi plasma membrane. And then allow exchange nutrient in respiratory gases, waste material between cell and their surrounding. So macam cikgu cakap tadi lah. Okay, the next one, dia ada lysosome. Mari tengok mana lysosome ni. Ni lysosome ni. Ni cikgu besarkan ni. Macam telur ayam pula lysosome ni kan. Ada 2. 1, 2 ni lysosome ni. Okay, so lysosome. Okay, let's go down. Awak tengok lysosome ni. It is a small spherical sac enclosed by a single membrane. So maksudnya ini lysosome. Okay, dalam lysosome tu ada apa? Ada hydrolytic enzyme. Okay, so inside lysosome you can find enzyme. Why there is enzyme in lysosome? Okay, kita tengok ni. It hydrolyzes a complex organic molecule such as protein, nucleic acid, and lipid, and break down bacteria and component of damaged cell. So dalam lysosome ni adanya enzyme. So that enzyme will be used to break down bacteria ataupun damaged cell. Itulah awak kena tahu ni. So fungsi lysosome ni adalah it has enzyme, and the enzyme will be used to kill bacteria and also to kill the damaged cell. Sel yang tak diperlukan, yang rosak ni, kita akan guna enzyme yang ada dalam lysosome tu to get rid of them. Boleh faham? Okay, the next one is nucleus. Okay, nucleus ni cikgu rasa tak perlu explain pun. You should know better than me. Okay, you can read on your own. Okay, nucleus is very familiar since you were in Form 1. Okay, the next one is ribosome. Mana ribosome ni? Tengok sikit. Ni ribosome yang kecil-kecil ni. Ni yang hitam ni. Okay, so ribosome cikgu nak cerita kat awak ni. Ribosome, there are 2 places you can find. Ada 2 tempat awak boleh jumpa. The first one, you can find ribosome free in the cytoplasm. Ni cytoplasm kan kat luar ni. Awak ingat lagi tak cytoplasm? Cytoplasm ni is a place where all the organelle, all the thing is found. Okay. Ni ribosome. Ada 2 tempat. Okay, the first one, you can find ribosome free in the cytoplasm. The next one, you can find ribosome, okay, that attach on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ni awak tengok ni, rough endoplasmic reticulum warna hijau ni kan. Okay, awak perasan tak? You notice that there is a dot warna hitam tu. I make it bigger. Ni, dot. This is ribosome. Ni ribosome juga ni. So we can say that ribosome, there are two places you can find, free on the cytoplasm and also attached on rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ada dua tempat. And fungsi dia sama saja, which is to produce protein. Fungsi ribosome satu saja, which is to produce protein. Macam tadi cikgu cerita pasal Golgi Apparatus kan. So ribosome ni dia akan hasilkan protein. And protein tu akan pergi dekat Golgi Apparatus untuk ditukar jadi enzim, antibody dan sebagainya. Boleh faham? Ni nukleus lah. Dalam nukleus ada nukleus. Fungsi nukleus still lagi sama, to control all activity in the cell. Okay, let's continue. Okay, ni endoplasmic reticulum. This is the last one. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. So apa tengok ni, consists of a system of interconnected folded flatted sac. And endoplasmic reticulum membrane is continuous with a nuclear membrane. So maksudnya endoplasmic reticulum ni we can find them near to the nucleus. Okay, nuclear membrane tu maksudnya nucleus membrane lah. Ini membrane, ni lapisan luar membrane tu, lapisan luar nucleus tu nama dia nuclear membrane. So okay, jap. Okay, so there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. We have rough and we also have smooth. So kau tengok kat sini. Ni. Okay. So this is nucleus. Okay, this is rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is smooth endoplasmic reticulum where they are nearby to the nucleus. Boleh faham? Ni awak tengok ni. Okay, kalau rough endoplasmic reticulum, it has ribosome attached on the surface. Kalau smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it doesn't have ribosome. So I want to simplify lah the function of them. Okay, tengok kat sini je lah. Okay, kalau rough endoplasmic reticulum, okay, cikgu pasal sikit. Okay, rough endoplasmic reticulum, I said just now, they have ribosome. So we can say that rough endoplasmic reticulum, the function is the site for protein synthesis. Or you can say rough endoplasmic is a place where protein synthesis occur. Kenapa protein synthesis occur kat sini? Sebab apa? Dia ada ribosome. Boleh faham? Okay, and then for ni, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Ini. Dia tak ada ribosome kan? Dia smooth je. Okay, so fungsi smooth endoplasmic reticulum is to produce lipid. Produce fat, menghasilkan lemak lah. Itu saja. Okay guys. Okay, let's go to the plant cell. So this is how plant cell looks like. They have vacuole and so on. Okay, we go one by one. Okay, so vacuole. Okay, so vacuole ni awak tengok dia cakap apa? Is a liquid filled sac which is cell sap. So maksudnya this is vacuole. Inside vacuole ada liquid fill. Nama dia adalah cell sap. So anything that you can find in the vacuole is called cell sap. And then it say that vacuole is surrounded by tonoplast membrane. So maksudnya dia punya membrane tu nama dia tonoplast. Dekat luar ni. Okay, tonoplast membrane. Okay, young plant cell have many small vacuole. Why matured plant cell has large vacuole? So we can say that this is a matured plant cell. Sebab apa? Dia ada very big vacuole. Okay, the vacuole in animal cell is small. Okay, sebenarnya kalau tengok kat animal cell ni, ni animal cell ni, tak ada vacuole kan? Sebenarnya ada, but they are very small. Okay, what is the proof? Here. Ni awak tengok warna hijau ni. This is what we call vacuole, but the vacuole is very small. Very, very small. Okay, but for plant cell, okay, it is very big. Macam cikgu cerita tadi kan, inside the vacuole there is a liquid fill set yang kita namakan sebagai cell set. So dalam cell set tu ada apa? Maksudnya dalam vacuole tu ada apa ni? Ada ni. Ada water, ada organic acid, ada sugar, amino acid, enzyme, mineral, oksigen, carbon dioxide dan sebagainya. Ni. Okay, so apa fungsi vacuole ni? The water is absorbed into the vacuole plant cell and the cell become turgid. So kita cakap vacuole ni macam peti sejuk lah. Dia akan simpan makanan, simpan air dan sebagainya. Okay. Okay, in unicellular animal, the vacuole contract during osmoregulation osmosis. Yang ni kita belajar next slide. Okay. So apa fungsi vacuole ni? Awak cakap contain cell sap which contain ni water, organic, sugar dan sebagainya. Boleh faham? Okay. Done with vacuole. Next we go to chloroplast. Mana chloroplast kat sini? Mana chloroplast ni? Ni chloroplast ni. You see chloroplast. So chloroplast ni macam biasalah. Fungsi dia untuk carry out photosynthesis. Tu je lah yang awak kena tahu. Okay, and then cytoplasm. Cytoplasm pun cikgu tak nak bincang lah sebab we already discussed, okay, when you are form 1. I think it's very easy. Okay, cytoplasm is the place where biochemical reaction will happen. Ataupun you can say that cytoplasm will allocate, okay, the component inside the cell. So apa dalam cytoplasm? Apa? Ada vacuole, ada chloroplast, ada mitochondria dan sebagainya. Okay. And then we have cell wall. Cell wall ni yang paling kat luar. Kalau animal cell, yang paling luarnya adalah plasma membrane. Tapi kalau kalau plant cell, paling luar nama dia adalah cell wall. So cell wall ni is made up by cellulose. Cellulose. And it is fully permeable. Macam plasma membrane, dia partially kan, ingat tak cikgu ajar tadi. Tapi kalau cell wall, fully permeable. Maksudnya apa-apa saja boleh masuk. Tapi dia ada tapisan kedua. So apa? Dia ada plasma membrane, which is partially permeable. Okay, apa fungsi dia? Maintain the shape of the cell and provide mechanical support to the plant. Okay, I think this one is very straightforward. Okay, let's go another one. Now we are done talking about whatever. Okay, macam mitochondria. Okay, cell plasma membrane. We already discussed, and also Golgi Apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the function in animal and plant cell, they are the same. So that's why I don't discuss. Okay, now we are going to study what is the similarity and difference between animal and plant cell. Tengok. Kalau similarity, both cell are made up by nucleus, cytoplasm, plasma membrane, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and ribosome. Okay, so here is their similarity. How about their differences? Okay, yang ni ada fixed shape. Sebab apa? Dia ada cell wall. Yang ni animal cell does not have fixed shape. Why? Because it doesn't have cell wall. Yang ni it has cell wall, so it can do photosynthesis. Animal cell cannot do photosynthesis. Why? Because it doesn't have chloroplast. Yang ni has large vacuole. No vacuole, if present, is too small. Boleh faham? Yang kedua, yang ni, store carbohydrate in the form of starch. So maksudnya plant ni, if they do photosynthesis, they will produce carbohydrate, right? And that will be stored in term of starch. Tapi kalau manusia, dia tak ada starch, dia ada glycogen. Okay, so glycogen tu disimpan kat dua tempat. Pertama sekali dekat liver, hati. Yang kedua adalah dekat muscle, kita punya otot. And the last one, plant cell doesn't have centriole. Apa fungsi centriole tadi cikgu cakap? Centriole fungsi dia adalah enable the cell to divide. Daripada satu jadi dua. Dua jadi tiga. Tiga jadi empat. Okay? Tapi kalau animal cell, it has centriole. What is the function of centriole? Involved in cell division. Can you understand? Okay. Okay guys, so let's continue a little bit. Okay, here. Okay guys, so right now, the next topic I want to teach you is about density of certain cell component and specialized function. Okay, just now we have studied about the component, okay, found in the both animal and plant cell. For example, we study about nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and so on. So right now, the next topic is about, okay, where is the location inside the body that contain so many things of this thing. For example, mitochondria, we can found them abundantly. Maksudnya kita boleh jumpa mitochondria ni dengan banyak dekat mana? Pertama sekali dekat sperm, dekat muscle cell. Kalau yang ni animal cell lah kan, sperm cell dan juga muscle cell. But in the plant, we can find so many mitochondria in a plant meristem cell. Okay, sebab apa? Okay, kita tengok sperm cell dulu. Sebab apa? Sperm cell require a lot of energy to swim toward uterus and fallopian tube, because we know that sperm cell need to swim. So in order to swim, it need to have more mitochondria. Okay, and then for muscle cells sebab apa? Require a lot of energy to contract and relax, because we know that the function of muscle cell is to contract and relax, so that it enable us to move. Boleh faham? So that's why mitochondria ni kita banyak jumpa kat sperm dan juga muscle cell. And then for plant meristem cell, apa tempat dia? Okay, require a lot of energy to carry out cell division to produce a new cell. Okay, plant meristem cell ni is a cell that we can find at the tip of shoot and at the tip of the root. Maksudnya meristem cell ni kita boleh jumpa dekat hujung pucuk dan juga hujung akar. Okay, so nama sel yang ada banyak dekat hujung akar dan hujung pucuk tu nama dia meristem cell. So meristem cell ni fungsi dia adalah untuk buat cell division. Cell division tu maksudnya dia nak membahagi dah daripada satu sel jadi dua sel, tiga sel. So in order to divide, in order to do cell division, they require more energy. So energy gain from mitochondria. Boleh faham? Okay, the next one, chloroplast. Mana kita nak jumpa banyak chloroplast? Pertama sekali, yang ni kat ada dua ni. Palisade mesophyll cell dengan spongy mesophyll cell. Ni dua sel ni kita jumpa dekat daun. Because we know that leaf is the place where photosynthesis will occur. Sekejap tengok. Ada tak gambar palisade mesophyll? Sekejap Oh, tak ada lah. Ni. Ni awak tengok ni. Palisade mesophyll cell dan juga spongy mesophyll cell. Yang ni kita jumpa kat mana? Jumpa dekat daun. Jumpa dekat daun. Okay, palisade mesophyll cell dengan spongy mesophyll cell. Okay, cikgu nak cerita sikit lah pasal palisade dengan spongy palisade mesophyll cell dengan spongy mesophyll cell. Dua sel ni awak akan jumpa dekat daun. Okay, so kita pergi satu-satu. Kalau palisade mesophyll cell, bentuk dia, it is a long cylindrical cell. Dia maksudnya bentuk silinder. Lepas tu, they are arranged vertically and close to each other. Maksudnya dia disusun secara menegak macam ni dan disusun rapat-rapat. Lepas tu apa lagi? Dia ada banyak chloroplast. Sebab apa? Enable them to do photosynthesis. So apa fungsinya dia disusun macam ni? Disusun rapat-rapat macam ni. To allow maximum absorption of sunlight. Okay. Lepas tu spongy mesophyll. Ni awak tengok. Spongy mesophyll ni dia bulat-bulat. Bulat-bulat ni. So the cell are arranged loosely. Macam ni dia disusun rapat-rapat kan. Yang ni loosely. Maksudnya ada gap lah between one another. Untuk apa? Untuk menghasilkan air space. So bila disusun jauh-jauh, awak tengok ni ada ruang kosong ni kan. Ada ruang-ruang kosong ni. This will create air space. Kenapa air space perlu? Sebab macam ni kita tahu, palisade dengan spongy mesophyll ni dia akan menghasilkan dia akan buat fotosintesis. Fotosintesis perlukan carbon dioxide. So bila ada air space will allow the carbon dioxide to get to the palisade mesophyll and spongy mesophyll. So bila dia buat proses fotosintesis, dia akan hasilkan apa? Akan hasilkan oksigen. So oksigen also can get out through air space. Boleh faham? Okay, so kita nak cerita sikit yang tadi. Ni. Okay. Ni awak tengok chloroplast ada banyak kat mana? Ada dekat palisade mesophyll cell dengan spongy mesophyll cell. Untuk apa? Untuk absorb more sunlight to carry out photosynthesis. And the last one, endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Still remember what is the function? Okay, cikgu ulang baliklah. Rough endoplasmic reticulum fungsi dia untuk menghasilkan protein. Sebab apa menghasilkan protein? Sebab rough endoplasmic reticulum ada ribosome. Okay, Golgi apparatus, apa fungsi dia? Fungsi dia adalah untuk proses, modify, pack and transfer protein. Sebagai contoh, rough endoplasmic reticulum ni, ribosome dia hasilkan protein. So, protein tu akan pergi kat Golgi apparatus and then Golgi apparatus ni akan tukar. Protein tu jadi enzim ke, jadi antibody ke dan sebagainya. Boleh faham? So, dua benda ni ada banyak kat mana? Pertama sekali, pancreatic cell. Okay, pancreatic cell tu maksudnya sel yang ada dalam pankreas. Okay, sel yang ada dalam pankreas. So, kenapa? To increase synthesis and secretion of digestive enzyme. Okay, cikgu rasa cikgu pernah ajar dulu. Pankreas ni, dia akan hasilkan 3 enzim, which are lipase, amylase and trypsin. So, in order to do that, they should have protein and they should also need Golgi apparatus to modify that protein into enzyme. Okay, lepas tu kat mana? Ni, goblet cell in the intestinal ileum and respiratory tract. Kenapa perlu? Untuk menghasilkan mucus. Dekat kita punya respiratory tract sebagai contoh, adanya mucus. Apa fungsi mucus tu? To trap any foreign substance, for example, bakteria ke, dust dan sebagainya. And then the last one is liver cell, sel hati kita. Sebab apa? To detoxify drugs and poison and metabolic carbohydrate. Okay, boleh faham? Itu sahaja. Sekejap Okay, good. Okay guys, so for the first one, we are going to study about unicellular. Okay guys, so for the first one, okay, good. Okay guys, so for the first one, we are going to study about unicellular organism. Okay, so there are 2 examples of unicellular organism you should know. The first one is amoeba, so it will look like this. Okay, and the next one is we have paramecium. Okay, so it will look like this. Okay, so let me make it larger. Okay guys, so for the first one, we should learn about the structure of amoeba. Okay, so this is how amoeba looks like. So basically, this amoeba, its habitat is in the freshwater pond and also damp soil. Okay, so this is the general characteristic of amoeba. The first one, it can change the shape constantly. Okay, so obviously you see here there is no cell wall, so that's why amoeba cannot have a fixed shape. So that's why it can change the shape constantly. And it has 2 types of cell wall. The first one is ectoplasm. Okay, ectoplasm is the outermost layer, and then they also have endoplasm. Okay, so endoplasm is the one that in the middle. Okay, so this is ectoplasm and this is ectoplasm. And then they basically feed by using pseudopodia. Okay, so as you can see, this is the amoeba. So what does pseudopodia means is that, okay, so this is pseudopodia means. Pseudopodia means like the extended structure, okay, made by the amoeba. Okay, so basically they will just be like this, but if they want to feed, okay, they will form pseudopodia. So here is pseudopodia, where it is a finger-like structure. Okay, so after this we are going to study in detail. Okay guys, so these are the process that we should learn about amoeba. The first one is locomotion. Okay, and then feeding, respiration, excretion, response to the stimuli, and the last one is reproduction. Okay, so we go for the first one, locomotion. So as I said just now, they have pseudopodia structure, right? Okay, so not just for feeding, in locomotion also, pseudopodia is needed. Okay, so you see here, pseudopodia are used to anchor, okay, the tips of the ground, and followed by the flow of cytoplasm into pseudopodia, and the form of the locomotion is known as a amoeboid movement. Okay, so this is the structure showing to you how amoeba move. The first one, okay, this is the general shape of the amoeba. So when it want to move forward, what it will do is that it will form pseudopodia. As I said just now, pseudopodia is a finger-like structure. Okay, it is a extended, okay, finger-like structure like this. So here, this is amoeba. Amoeba will form pseudopodia. So it will have this structure. So what will happen is that the cytoplasm, okay, in the pseudopodia, the cytoplasm will flow to the pseudopodia. Because here, this is pseudopodia. So if it want to move forward, so the cytoplasm, okay, will move towards, okay, pseudopodia. So this will enable the amoeba to move forward. Okay, so for example, if the amoeba want to move left, so it will form pseudopodia to the left. So what will happen next is that the cytoplasm will move towards the pseudopodia. So sooner or later, it can move forward. Okay. And then bear in mind the function of pseudopodia is also to anchor. Okay, anchor tu maksudnya mencengkam, okay, the tips of the ground. Okay. Okay, that's all for the locomotion. The next one is in terms of feeding. Okay, so the name of the process where the amoeba feed is known as a phagocytosis. Okay, so actually is quite the same like when they want to move. So what will happen first is that, okay, amoeba will form a pseudopodia. Why? Because they want to engulf. This you look this. This look like a finger structure, right? So what will happen is that two pseudopodia is formed to engulf. Engulf tu maksudnya to surround pun boleh. Okay, to surround the food. Right now we know that amoeba feed on bacteria. Okay, so what will happen is that, okay, once the pseudopodia, is formed and they engulf the bacteria, they will form food vacuole. So here is food vacuole that contain bacteria. So what will happen next is that the digestive enzyme will break down the food and the nutrient diffuse into the cytoplasm. So here we have food vacuole. Okay, and then what will happen is that the digestive enzyme, okay, will move inside the food vacuole, because we know that in order to get the nutrient from the food, we need to digest using enzyme. So once the bacteria is digested, any nutrient, okay, available, okay, will diffuse into the cytoplasm. Okay. Okay, enough with the feeding. Next is respiration. Okay, so here it say that respiration in amoeba, okay, occur by diffusion, okay, or simple diffusion, where the oxygen can easily diffuse in and carbon dioxide can easily diffuse out. So it is not like a human. Like for us, if we want to take oxygen, we will breathe using nose. And then the oxygen will go to the lung. And then from lung, it will go to all over the body, right? But for amoeba, because it is a unicellular organism, it use simple diffusion, where the oxygen and carbon dioxide can diffuse in and out easily, just like that, through plasma membrane. Because here we know that the outermost layer is known as a plasma membrane. Okay, it's very straightforward information. And the next one is excretion. Okay, so basically excretion, we know that is the process to remove the waste product. Okay, so the first one is carbon dioxide, because we have learned just now carbon dioxide can easily, okay, diffuse out from amoeba using simple diffusion, where the carbon dioxide can diffuse just as easy as that. Okay, at the same time, for the amoeba, they have contractile vacuole. Okay, so this is what we call contractile vacuole. Okay, the function is to remove excess water in the cell or in the amoeba. Okay, so here I want to explain in detail. Okay, just now we know that amoeba basically they live in the fresh water, right? So when they live in the fresh water, it means that they are constantly absorbing the water. So we can say that there are so many excess water will diffuse inside the amoeba. So how can the amoeba remove the excess water? So what will happen is that the excess water will diffuse into contractile vacuole. Okay, so when the so many water in the amoeba, the water will diffuse in the contractile vacuole. Once the contractile vacuole is full of water, okay, so this contractile vacuole will merge, okay, with the plasma membrane to what? To eliminate the excess water. Okay, so that's why the contractile, oh sorry, that's why the function of contractile vacuole is to remove excess water in the cell, in the amoeba lah. Okay, the next one is reproduction. There are two conditions, okay, that need to be faced by amoeba. The first one is under favorable condition. So under favorable condition, basically they will do asexual reproduction, which is binary fission. But when they are under unfavorable condition, they will do sporulation. Okay, and this is sexual reproduction. Okay, so you might be wondering what kind of condition for favorable. Okay, for example, favorable is a condition like, you know, during a good day when there is sunshine, there is enough water, and the humidity is stable. Okay, that one is for favorable condition. But unfavorable condition, for example, during drought. Okay, during kemarau, for example. Okay, for drought, during whatever lah that they have to bear. Okay, so during favorable condition, they will do binary fission, but unfavorable, they do sporulation. Okay, so how it works? So we go for favorable condition first. Okay, binary fission. Okay, so here, okay, during favorable condition, how it can reproduce is that the amoeba will divide after it has grown into a certain size. So it means that once the amoeba has grown up, we can say that it is ready for reproduction. So the first one, the nucleus, okay, the nucleus will divide. Okay, from one it become two. So once it has two nucleus, then it will divide the cytoplasm. Okay, the cytoplasm begins to divide when the nucleus has split up. So, as you can see here, after division of cytoplasm, two daughter amoeba are formed. Okay, so this is what we call binary fission. Okay, this one is under unfavorable condition. So when the environment is not favorable, okay, so the first one, this is amoeba. Okay, so the amoeba will form a cyst. Will form a cyst, the outer layer of many spore that contain many spore. Okay, so at the thermos layer of the amoeba, it will form cyst. So inside the cyst, there are so many spore. And then the spore will be dispersed by the wind. Okay, the seeds germinate and they release the spore, and the spore will be carried, okay, by the wind. Okay, so the wind will carry the spore to the other destination that might be favorable for them. Okay. And then the next one is, okay, the last one, growth. Okay, so we know that amoeba will grow by synthesizing, okay, a new cytoplasm. Okay, so it's very straightforward information. Okay, the next one. Ada bunyi pula. Okay, the next one is level of organization. Okay, so this one I think you are familiar. Okay, we start with cell, tissue, organ, system, and also organism. Okay, this one I think is very straightforward information. So this one's okay. We begin with the cell. Okay, cell is the smallest unit of life capable of carrying out all the function of living thing. So there are two types of cell: plant and also animal cell. Okay, so this is the example of cell. Okay, nerve cell, okay, blood cell, sperm cell, and so on. Okay, you should know, okay, the function of each cell. For example, sperm cell, the function is to what? Okay, I think this one is very important for you to know yourself. Okay, okay, so this is the types of blood. Okay. Okay, the next one is tissue. Okay, so there are four types of tissue that you should know. The first one is epithelial tissue. Okay, we go for the first one. Okay, epithelial tissue consists of cells that are arranged tightly. Okay, and they could be found, okay, in a body surface, lining of cavity, and also gland. So I make it simple. I make it organized for you. So there are three places where you can find epithelial tissue. The first one is body surface. Okay, so the example is skin. Okay, and the function of our skin is to protect against bacteria. Okay, so one of the location of epithelial tissue is our skin. Okay, the next one is lining of cavity. Okay, basically lining of cavity involve any organs. Okay, for example, lung. Okay, the function is to produce mucus, okay, to destroy bacteria. Okay, other than lung, maybe there is also epithelial tissue in the esophagus, in our respiratory tract, and so on. And the last one, we can find epithelial tissue in the gland. Okay, for example, sweat gland. Okay, sweat gland, the function is also to, this one for sweat, the function not to produce mucus. Instead, the function of sweat gland is to produce sweat, okay, to destroy bacteria. Okay. The next one is muscle tissue. Okay, so this is the abundant tissue in our body. So it means that we have many muscle tissue in our body. So there are three types of muscle tissue. Okay, so I make it a table for you as well. So the first one is smooth tissue. Okay, here smooth tissue you can find in a in the small intestine. So this is the way how it looks. Okay, smooth tissue. And then the function is okay, responsible for involuntary body activity. For example, we know that small intestine is the place where the food will move, right? So it will, when we have smooth muscle tissue, it will enable the food, okay, to move along our small intestine. And then we have skeletal tissue. Okay, for example, in the leg. Okay, skeletal tissue, muscle tissue means that any muscle that is attached to your bones. Okay, so for example here. Okay, so this is how skeletal muscle looks like. It look very long and also tied to each other. Okay, so the function is responsible for voluntary action. For example, walking. Voluntary means that you are aware that you are doing that activity. Okay, for example, it's walking. And the last one is cardiac muscle tissue. Cardiac muscle tissue can only be found in one place, which is heart. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, the function is to responsible for involuntary body activity. Okay, the example is heartbeat. Okay, so because the heartbeat is involuntary. Okay, why? Because we cannot control. Okay, it happen naturally. Okay, the beat of heart happen naturally. without our knowing. Okay guys, so the next one is nerve tissue. Okay, so this is nerve tissue looks like. Okay, so nerve tissue is made up by nerve cell, and nerve cell is also known as a neuron. Okay, the function is to transmit impulse from receptor to the brain. Okay, and nerve cell consists of dendrite, okay, axon, and also body cell. Okay, body cell. Okay, guys. So the last one is connective tissue. There are three types of connective tissue that you should know. We have dense fibrous connective tissue. Okay, so it helps to connect, okay, muscle to the bones. Okay, and then we have cartilage connective tissue, okay, to support our nose and ears. Okay, so right now, can you touch your nose and ears? So it has cartilage connective tissue. Okay, and we also have adipose connective tissue, the place where the excessive fat is stored. Okay, so if you want to know where you can find connective tissue, okay, for example, under your arms, okay, lengan awak tu. Okay, under your arm, there is a adipose connective tissue. Okay, why? Because that is the place where any excessive fat will be stored. Okay, so that's why you see, okay, if you want to see either you are fat or not, you see under your arms. You can see at your thigh, okay, dekat peha awak tu. Peha can also have adipose tissue. Okay. Okay, the next one is organ. So I think organ is very easy for you. You know, heart, okay, lung, and so on. But for plant, okay, the example of their organs is leaf. Okay, leaf, stem, flower, and so on. So system is very straightforward, I think. Dia bising lah pula. Sorry. Okay, so these are the example of system. Okay, that you can find in your body. I think this one is very straightforward. You can read on your own. Okay, so there are a lot of system. Okay, exist in our body. Okay, skeletal system, circulatory system. Okay, now moving forward to the plant. Okay, plant there are three tissue. The first one is epidermis tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. Okay, so the first one is epidermis tissue. So epidermis tissue you can find in the leaf, stem, and also root. Okay, so here. Okay, this is epidermis tissue. Okay, you can find in the leaf. Okay, so this is the example of leaf. Okay, the next one, ground tissue. There are three types of ground tissue, which are parenchyma tissue. Okay, this is how parenchyma tissue looks like. Okay, so the function is to store the product of photosynthesis, such as starch. So when the plant finish with photosynthesis, it will store the starch in parenchyma tissue. Okay, and the next one is collenchyma tissue. Okay, so you see the difference between these two. Okay, but the function is different. Okay, to give support to herbaceous plant. Okay, and the last one is sclerenchyma tissue. Okay, the function is still the same. Okay, to support and strengthen the plant body. Okay, that one is for tissue. The next one is vascular tissue. Okay, there are two types of vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. I think this one is very familiar to you. Okay, we have transport water. We have xylem tissue and phloem tissue. Okay, so here phloem, this is xylem. Okay, so there are two systems in the plant, shoot and root. Okay, here you can see.
Shoot system consists of flower, leaf, fruit, and so on. But for the root system, only root. Okay.